I always bring water with me everywhere I go.
Yeah,
I forget you have ice water.
You're in the right place.
I know. I come for
We
the,
happen to have
I
some
come
of
for
that.
the
You
water.
come for
I
the
don't stay
water.
for the water.
Okay. All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what you guys were talking about, but since we're a minute behind, I'll go ahead and just jump in and get started with the July 22nd Board of Waterworks Trustees meeting. First up on our agenda here is our consent agenda, which includes the minutes from the June 24, 2025 Board of Waterworks Trustees meeting, the minutes from July 1st, 2025 Finance and Audit Committee meeting, our financial statements, list of payments for June 2025, summary of CEO approved expenditures in excess of $50,000, and our next meeting date of August 26, 2025. Does anybody have anything within that consent agenda that they would like to call out or discuss?
I'll just express some appreciation for the letter of the financial storytelling letter that was added to the packet. I found that very helpful to add some colors to the financial statement. So thank you for TV&T for putting that together.
And Andrea, if you don't mind, I might just offer a few financial comments.
Sure.
Okay. I know that there's a lot of interest in the financial impact of the lawn watering ban. And so I thought I might just make a few remarks and bridge to those financial statements that David mentioned. There is a 30-day lag between when customers consume water and when they're billed. And so it can be difficult to see how it's going to affect us right away. About half of June was without a lawn watering ban. And so we can't really offer any conclusive insights just yet. I think we need to look at July's financials for the other part of the story. But cumulative pumpage for the region, not just Des Moines Waterworks, but for the region is trending higher than budget, even with half of June being under lawn watering ban. And it's only 25 million gallons less than our highest year demand, which was in 2023. Des Moines Waterworks retail billed consumption, so just for our service areas, is also just a little bit higher than the budget. And revenues as of June 30th are tracking on budget. So I'm not seeing anything that is, because of this lag, anything that I could point to that I believe is a concern at this time. Just also keep in mind that our service areas typically aren't irrigation heavy compared to some of the wholesale customers. And some of our secondary meters, we have some, of course, that are for irrigation, but others are for evaporative cooling, which would have continued, processing and manufacturing, which would have continued. So we'll know more when we report out in July.
Great, thank you. I appreciate that. Just calling attention to how the watering ban can potentially impact our budget, our income, our expenses, and being able to share that conversation with the board and with the public.
And I would just also add that there is a CEO approved expenditure greater than $50,000 in the schedule. You might recall that there was a 24-inch transmission main that required repair. It was a critical repair because it was the primary feed for Xenia Rural Water. It was very deep, and so it required contractor repair by contractors. And so that is listed just under the CEO spending authority. And so that is included on the schedule.
Thank you. Anybody else want to call out or discuss any of the items listed in our consent agenda? Okay, not hearing any, can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Next on our agenda is the public comment period. And I would like to kick off this moment to acknowledge and celebrate that there is somebody new at that board member table with us today. Our new CEO and general manager, Amy Kaler, is taking the reins and doing a fantastic job with her first board meeting as CEO and chair. And so no, we're looking forward to amazing things. And you know, I think just being your ability to share that narrative that goes along with the financial sustainability of Des Moines Waterworks, as well as how we integrate and continue to build that relationship with Central Iowa Waterworks is going to be very beneficial, along with all the other great assets that you bring to the utility. So we're happy to have you on that other side of the table with us today.
Thank you.
I do not. Is there anybody else in the room that wishes to speak during the public comment period? Okay, and I don't see anybody else online. So we'll jump into our action items, of which the first is the appointment of secretary to Board of Waterworks Trustees. Give me a moment to scroll here. And I guess, so this is the recommended action by the board is to appoint Amy Kaler, as we just discussed, as our Chief Executive Officer, as Secretary to the Board of Waterworks Trustees, effective July 18th, 2025. Can I get a motion to do such?
So moved.
Second.
Be a lot of that today.
I got sorry.
Yeah.
You and
That
I.
was
I get a little
Okay.
worried.
that was a cliffhanger there. All right. All in favor to appoint Amy Kaler as the Chief Executive Officer, as the Secretary to the Board of Waterworks Trustees, effective July 18th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Well, congratulations. Welcome in your new role, Amy.
Thank you.
Our next action item is the Water Curia design concept approval. Amy, did you want to talk a little bit about just generally what exactly we are looking to approve today?
Absolutely. The Water Curia, supported by the William G. Stowe Foundation, has been designed, and you may recall the design concepts were presented to the board at the May board meeting. The Water Curia will provide education in the park about water quality and environmental stewardship. A 28E has been drafted with the Stowe Foundation for construction and maintenance, and the plan is to review this with the Planning Committee at its August 12th meeting. The agreement states that this board, the Des Moines Waterworks Board of Trustees, will approve the design concept. So this action item is to approve the design concept that was presented at the May board meeting. And those design concepts are also included in your materials. You might recall these renderings from the May board meeting. It will certainly be a striking feature in our park. And I will also add that Amy Beatty with the Stowe Foundation is with us this evening. So appreciate your attendance.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the Water Curia design concept?
So moved.
Second.
Are there any discussions or any additional information that board would like to have regarding the design?
Just process wise, is the 28E when it's fully developed and to come back to the board for approval? It is.
Yes,
Yes. So it'll
I would
be,
anticipate that in August.
Okay. So the planning committee meeting in August is to review the status of that agreement.
That's right.
How does it fit in with Jessica's plan and all the maintenance and her team's work? Will they be in charge of the plants surrounding it still? It kind of fits in with the path that's there.
Yes,
Yeah.
we are planning on, we have had conversations with Jessica already.
Okay.
And are definitely planning on working hand in hand with her
Okay,
and her staff concerning the plant. So,
awesome. So coordinated effort and
Yes.
funded in jointly or?
And the installation is definitely, and then ongoing maintenance also is the responsibility of the foundation.
It turned out really well. So
Beautiful.
it's gonna be great to have a Jordan Weber in the park, I think.
Great. Well, this is exciting to hit this milestone with this project. So with that, all in favor of approving the water curia design concept, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right. Moving on to agenda item 3C. Not to exceed 12,100,000 water revenue capital loan notes, SRF, for the lead service line replacement phase 1 project. Resolution fixing date for a meeting on the proposition to authorize a loan and disbursement agreement and the issuance of notes to evidence the obligations thereunder. Amy,
Yeah.
could you just walk us through this one?
Sure. Last October, the EPA issued its supposedly final lead and copper rule improvement. This requires the replacement of all lead service lines within 10 years, beginning in 2027. Des Moines Water Works, even though we do have some time, we do prefer to get going on our replacements, and primarily for 2 reasons. The first is we have a number of suspected lead service lines. We are working to validate and confirm those through an inventory process. But we estimate that we have about 20,000 lead service lines. And we also want to take full advantage of available funding through the state revolving fund that is flowing through the bipartisan infrastructure law, the bill. Not knowing the future of those types of funds going forward. This funding offers loans that are 49% forgivable, meaning we wouldn't have to pay back about half of the amount that we borrow. And the remaining half is offered at 0% interest, which is pretty hard to beat. As long as the replacements are in qualifying census tracts based on socioeconomic criteria. So Des Moines Water Works has submitted an SRF application for 1,000 replacements. That totals $12.1 million. Again, about $6 million would be the responsibility of Des Moines Water Works to be repaid, and the other half would be forgiven. So today's action is the first step in the approval process for SRF loans. It sets the date of the public hearing for issuing those loans as the August board meeting.
Okay. So we need a motion to adopt the resolution fixing date for a meeting on the authorization of a loan and disbursement agreement and the issuance of not to exceed $12,100,000 water revenue capital loan notes of the city of Des Moines, state of Iowa, and providing for publication notice thereof.
So moved.
Second.
And if there's no discussion, we will have a roll call vote on this.
Ms. Bolton?
Yes.
Mr. Gross?
Yes.
Ms. Kessinger?
Yes.
Ms. Munns?
Yes.
Is that all? Is that all of us?
Yes.
Can I still ask a question, or will that delay us moving forward? Just-
Yes. Go
Okay.
ahead, ask the question.
Sorry, I got a postcard in the mail and I want to understand this better. So sorry if you've talked about this before in previous meetings. But just the replacement of lead lines, you've started in certain neighborhoods, right? I've read about it.
We did a pilot
Drake?
program. That is one of the neighborhoods that we will
Okay.
be doing as part of this phase one.
Okay,
We did a pilot program in the River Bend and King Irving neighborhoods.
Okay.
Last year.
Okay.
And I think we replaced just under 90 lead service lines, and
Okay.
we learned a lot. We did the pilot program to learn, about communication and the contract and that sort of thing.
got it.
It was well
Well, I
worthwhile.
appreciated the postcard. I just wanted to understand how you were like rolling it out. Okay, so with this money, you'll keep doing that.
Right.
Same, okay.
Right, this is 1,000 replacements, and with 20,000, there are a number of phases that we have in front of us. But we are also hoping to get more information, when we see the lines and the data, when we actually do the replacements in terms of, is our data accurate?
Yeah.
Are we seeing less than we thought, more than we thought? So it'll be helpful. So we may be updating those estimates as we go through them.
Like not all 20,000 could be lead.
That's
or
exactly,
whatever.
or at least a full replacement.
Yeah.
Might
Okay.
just be partial.
Thank you.
Good question.
Amy, this is Diane. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Did we have I think I probably asked this before. Did we have a written report on the lessons learned from the pilot?
I don't know that.
We provided some information to Diane.
Okay. Do you remember when that was, Jenny, when we provided it? Okay, Diane, I don't know if you can hear Jenny. She said that we provided not necessarily a formal report, but some observations and conclusions a couple months ago. We could resend that.
Yeah, why don't you resend that before we have the public hearing next month?
Okay.
Okay, any other questions or comments just in general regarding our lead service line program? Okay, and then we'll move on to item 3D, which is the 2024 Des Moines Water Main Replacement Contract 2.
On June of this year, 2025, the board authorized staff to solicit bids for the 2024 Water Main Replacement Contract 2. By way of background, water main replacement projects are generally a 2-year duration. And the year they're budgeted, they're designed. And then in the following year, they are generally bid and constructed. So that's why this is 2024. So today's action is the public hearing and awarding of the bid. This project replaces cast iron water mains that have reached the end of their useful life. Replacing the mains serves our customers by improving system reliability, water quality, and service life.
Okay, so I will go ahead and open that public hearing for comments from the public regarding the form of contract plans and specifications and estimated cost. Do we have anyone in the room that's interested in speaking on those? And
Nobody here.
Amy, did you receive any written comments?
We have received no written or oral comments.
Okay. So then I need a motion for adoption of that form of contract plans and specification and estimated cost.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Now, thank you, Amy, for giving us the background on the project. Could you talk to us a little bit about the bid analysis?
Yes, there were 3 bids received. They were all fairly consistent and all below the engineer's estimate. The low bid was Synergy at $2,105,030.27, which staff considers the lowest responsible bid and recommends awarding this contract to Synergy.
Okay, so can I now have a motion to award the 2024 Des Moines Water Main Replacement Contract 2 contract in the amount of Sorry, I need to move my, an amount of $2,105,030.27. And to Synergy Contracting LLC, and authorize the chairperson and CEO and general manager to execute the contract.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. All right, then on to item 3E, which is the acceptance of the 2023 Des Moines Water Main Replacement Contract 4.
At the December 2023 board meeting, the board awarded a contract to Rogness Corporation in the amount of about $1.8 million for the 2023 contract for water main replacement. All work has been completed to our satisfaction. The project did include 3 change orders totaling just over $40,000. But despite these change orders, the project came in under budget due to adjusted quantities. So staff recommends accepting this 2023 water main replacement contract 4 project completed by Rogness.
That never happens in construction.
So can I have a motion to accept the 2023 Des Moines Water Main Replacement Contract 4 project completed by Rogness Corporation in the amount of $1,817,062.99.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments on this item? All right, all in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Item 3F is the acceptance of 2024 Polk County Water Main Replacement Contract 2.
This is another closeout and acceptance of a water main replacement project, but this time in our Polk County service area. On Track was the contractor. All work has been completed to our satisfaction. The project included 3 change orders totaling just under $19,000. Those change orders were added, of course, to the project cost, but we did also have some savings due to adjusted quantities. And so the final price for the contract is $256,566.55.
Can I have a motion to accept the 2024 Polk County Water Main Replacement Contract 2 project completed by On Track Construction LLC in the amount of $256,566.55?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion or comments on this acceptance? Not hearing any. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Item 3G is the request authorization to solicit bids for the 2024 Polk County Water Main Replacement Contract 1 project and establish the date of the public hearing as the date of the August 2025 board meeting.
This action is for more water main replacement in our Polk County service area. Excuse me, the work is in Northwest 2nd Street and Northwest 49th Place area. The project is for the installation of 12-inch PVC along Northwest 2nd and various materials and sizes along Northwest 49th Place. The engineer's estimate is $1,553,000. So staff recommends the board authorize staff to solicit bids for this Polk County project and establish the date of the public hearing as the date of the August board meeting.
Great. So we're looking for a motion to authorize staff to solicit bids for the 2024 Polk County Water Main Replacement Contract 1 project and establish the date of the public hearing as the date of the August 2025 board meeting and direct staff to publish notice as provided by law.
So moved.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on this item?
There's a comment in here about eventual transfer of private service to this new main. Just a little bit more color on what that means.
Lindsay can answer.
So it's on, they're on private services right now, so we're gonna run a public main through there. And then the customers will be responsible to transfer to the new main.
Okay.
And we had a neighborhood meeting, I don't know, it's probably been a year ago, maybe less than that, where we met to make sure there was enough interest in this public main.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, it's kind of just a pipe extension for us we have 12-inch PVC in the area, so we're gonna extend it up and then they can transfer over.
Is it an economics decision for them that it's cheaper for them to?
I don't know, Kyle, you were kind of in some of those conversations. I'm not exactly sure.
Having troubles with their water services, and they were having multiple properties sharing water
Yeah.
services, and they requested out to us.
Hmm.
They also, in business park area, they don't have fire protection in that area, so there's a lot of economic benefits for them to have public water main in there, and they each have their own individual services.
Okay.
Sharing.
Yeah, and I do remember the shared services came up in the neighborhood meeting and then they've had quite a few breaks also. And so it's very expensive for them to get those repaired. And they were continuing to have those issues also, so yeah, should be a big improvement for them.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Did I get Diane's?
Aye.
Any opposed? Same sign? Okay, on to item 3H, which is the request authorization to issue purchase order for replacement RO membranes for Saylorville Water Treatment Plant.
The treatment process at the Saylorville treatment plant begins with pre-treatment of alluvial groundwater from radial collector wells, followed by filtration through ultrafiltration or UF cartridges, and then it further goes through RO or reverse osmosis membranes. The reverse osmosis membranes have a lifespan of about 3 to 5 years, and after that, performance starts to decline, primarily related to hardness. So the plant has 4 skids, and based on that useful life, our replacement schedule is to replace 1 every year. Iowa DNR requires that utilities pilot test membranes before using them operationally. In past years, we had not pilot tested other membranes other than the Dow membranes. But we've recently conducted some pilot tests of other membranes, which has really opened up some other options to us to select from when we need to replace, which is helpful to make sure that we are getting cost-effective and competitive proposals. So we have 11 separate proposals in your materials to replace 1 skid of 294 membranes. The proposals that are not bolded were deemed to not be compliant because we either hadn't pilot tested them or they didn't meet the required square footage criteria. Staff recommends issuing a purchase order in the amount of $132,153 to Consolidated Water Solutions for the purchase of a Toray RO membrane. And, I would note, Lindsay shared that our pilot testing did result in favorable proposals. Last year, we paid $165,000 for the replacement. The Dow this year, the lowest Dow proposal was $154,000. So savings of anywhere between $20,000 and $30,000 due to the work on our pilot testing. The CIWW Technical Committee was also briefed on this recommendation.
Great. Thank you for that. We need a motion to authorize staff to issue a purchase order in the amount of $132,153 to Consolidated Water Solutions for purchase of replacement reverse osmosis membranes with a 3-year prorated warranty for the Saylorville Water Treatment Plant.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? I appreciate cost savings and especially the, that baseline work that we're doing to really understand where we're at with our, with our equipment. And so doing those um, uh, pilots, test studies. I appreciate that, and especially the results that it led us to. So thank you for that. If there's no other comments or questions, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Rolling into item 3J. No, 3I is to request authorization for CEO and general manager to execute professional service agreement with Stanley Consultants for 2025 multiple facilities, safety showers, and temporary design and construction services.
The Fluor Drive and McMullen treatment facilities have emergency eye wash and safety shower stations. These stations are for emergency response in case there's an incident like a chemical spill or something similar. But many of the existing stations don't comply with ANSI or American National Standards Institute requirements, which requires that they're able to deliver water between 60 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I recently learned that you don't just purchase these and put them into place. They have to be
Never that
designed.
Mm.
They have to be designed for power requirements, piping, connections, heating and tempering of the water. And so this agenda item, staff is recommending a professional services agreement with Stanley Consultants in the amount of $159,050 for this project and the scope of work that is outlined here in your materials. The CIWW Technical Committee has also been briefed on this project.
I have a motion to authorize the CEO and general manager to execute a professional services agreement with Stanley Consultants, Inc. in the amount of $159,050 for the 2025 multiple facilities, safety showers, and tempering project.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Lindsay, what was the thought process behind sole sourcing Stanley?
So we have those indefinite scope
Mhm.
agreements that we use for projects estimated less than $2 million for plants. So this project is, we have budget for about 800,000. And so we just decided to choose one of those agreements. They are the water production, mechanical, one of the providers. We have like 3 of those.
Mhm.
And so we hadn't used them, so we decided to use them
Okay.
for this one.
So they're not, safe to say they're not uniquely qualified, but they're one of 3 that are.
Yeah, they do a lot of MEP and stuff like that, so this would be up their wheelhouse.
Any other questions or comments? All right, then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, wait a second, let's back up. Diane, let's get Diane, were you in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, now moving on to item 3J, which is a resolution of appreciation for departing Waterworks CEO and General Manager Ted Corrigan. I'll go ahead and read this resolution, if that's all right with everyone. The following resolution of appreciation is proposed to provide recognition to Mr. Ted Corrigan for his dedicated service during his tenure at Des Moines Waterworks. Whereas Ted Corrigan began his career at Des Moines Waterworks in 1990, and whereas Mr. Corrigan served as a dedicated public servant to the utility, its customers, the community, and the water industry as a professional engineer, senior leader, chief operating officer, and chief executive officer, and general manager. And whereas Mr. Corrigan retired as CEO and general manager on July 18th, 2025, and whereas during his career at Des Moines Waterworks, Mr. Corrigan demonstrated leadership and planning for the region through the design and construction of new water system infrastructure, including aquifer storage and recovery wells, the L.D. McMullen Water Treatment Plant, the Saylorville Water Treatment Plant, and regional pumping facilities. Led and supported emergency response during significant and critical events, including the flood of 1993 and the COVID-19 pandemic. Pursued innovation by leading the Phase 1 Park Master Plan improvements and collaborated with stakeholders to form a more resilient regional entity, Central Iowa Waterworks, among many other notable contributions. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Waterworks Trustees of the City of Des Moines, Iowa hereby acknowledges with sincere appreciation the contributions made by Ted Corrigan to Des Moines Waterworks and the community he has served by entering this resolution of appreciation into the minutes of the board. And be it further resolved that the Board of Waterworks Trustee hereby recognizes his impactful leadership as CEO and General Manager, his innovation-inspiring improvements to Des Moines Waterworks Park, and his support for the construction of the new Des Moines Waterworks Grounds facility completed in 2025 by naming the Des Moines Waterworks Ground Facility the Ted Corrigan Grounds Facility. Can I have a motion to adopt this resolution, and perhaps that is in there?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, is Ted Baird for?
There we go.
I am here.
Sort of that picture.
I feel like Ted needs to move to the center of the room on the camera so anybody watching at home can see the acceptance.
A little awkward, but I will, just so Andrea can see that I'm actually.
Ah,
I think that's again.
Yeah, that's.
okay,
So
all
I'm here.
right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Can I say something quickly?
Yeah.
Please. Andrew won't be able to see me, but hopefully she and Diane can both hear me. Wow. First, I feel like I should thank Don Staley, who's not even here, and probably Kyle and Lindsay and others who managed this project to create that amazing facility that anyone would be proud to have their name associated with. So thank you for that. I'm honored. I've said many times in the last month that I'm really proud of my service here, and being a CEO has been an honor. But I also said that I didn't do it alone, and I had a lot of help from the board, especially when Bill died. It was pretty sudden. I mean, we knew it was coming, but it was pretty sudden. But it was the support and the grace of the board kind of allowing me to figure it out that helped me be successful in this. I need to recognize Amy and Kyle, specifically kind of the right and left arms of this organization when I was here, when I was CEO, and really the whole senior management team and the staff, because they're the ones who did all the things that made me able to do all those things. You know, it's not a one-man show. So thank you very much. Amy, good job. You're doing a hell of a job, all right?
It's still early.
Month one. But thank you. What an honor. Thank you.
All right. Well, that concludes our action items for the meeting, and moving into information items. The first one up is our board committee reports, and that's just our finance and audit committee for this month.
Alec is not here, but Finance and Audit welcomed Doug Oscarson, our energy management consultant, who gave an overview of our energy management program, which we are very proud of. We were the first water utility in the nation to be ISO 50001 certified, and it was an interesting presentation. The minutes talk about the savings that we have realized through that program, and it's around 2 million or a net of about 1.7, as I recall, off the top of my head.
That's right, since 2017.
Yeah, since 2017.
Is Doug a consultant? He's a staff person?
He used to be a staff
Okay.
person. He was a water production supervisor, and he retired 7 or 8 years ago, I believe. And he has been our energy consultant.
Oh, wow.
Since then,
Very cool.
since that period of time. So he's very knowledgeable. Fortunate to have him, although 7 or 8 years past retirement. We'll see. It may end someday, so.
Something about this
Actually,
place where
retired.
those tire people can't just seem to stay away.
Yeah, exactly.
Any questions or comments for the Finance and Audit Committee? Diane, are you able to give us a Central Iowa Waterworks Board highlight review?
I'm really not in a position to spend a lot of time on it. I'm in a hospital waiting room, so.
Oh, okay.
If I don't have a lot beyond what's in the packet, I think everybody has been really, really involved as we come out of what we're calling the event and begin cycling back in different water uses. It's been quite an interesting time, and I think when we get through this, we will be putting together a number of lessons learned, everything from communication to looking at the data that we receive from the event as to usage. All I can say is, thank goodness it started raining again. I think it would have been I know it caused some of the nitrate issues, but it also would have been a completely different event if grass had dried up, whereas it stayed quite green. And I think that will be interesting when Amy puts together our revenues, because it did rain and it has rained quite a bit. So people didn't need to water their lawns. Our meeting is tomorrow afternoon. So I'll take questions, but as I said, thanks to everybody. I know that you've all fielded questions from different members of the community about this. I do want to say on behalf of Central Iowa Waterworks that I think that going through this, that there was a lot of education of the community on this, and I know our communication consultant did a great job in getting information out to the different news outlets. Tammy did a great job of trying to simplify and do education, and we have all learned a lot. So Amy, I don't know if you have anything in addition to this, but I'll go back on mute now.
Thank you, Diane. I would just mention one other thing in the highlights that is up on the screen. At the June board meeting, almost a month ago, the Central Iowa Waterworks Board authorized 2 planning and design loans that will pave the way for the West plant and the Grimes plant expansion. So Central Iowa Waterworks continues to look at adding capacity per the plan.
Great. Thank you both. And it's, you know, I am out of state, but I appreciated seeing the news that were kind of coming through on the other side of the event. And I think we're all appreciative for the role that everyone played to get us to this other side. Next committee report would be the Park Foundation. I think perhaps the most interesting things here to note would be the eminent placement of our donor wall and donor signs. And the work that has been ongoing with bringing more events and diversifying the income coming to the park to ensure its future sustainability. It's concert season, so there's lots going on, and also a time for lessons learned in how to manage these concerts as they continue to grow bigger, as there are new obstacles thrown at us, and the promoters adjust. And unless Pat's there with any additional thoughts or comments on the Park Foundation.
Pat has,
I was not at that meeting.
Okay. Well, then you'll all have to take my word for it. That's what's important. All right, and so with that, moving into our new CEO and general manager's comments.
thank you. Just to add a little bit more to the lawn watering ban and some comments there. As I think we all know, but for the record, the decision was made by the CIWW Technical Committee to lift the ban in a phase-in approach beginning today. So residential lawn watering can now be layered in based on an even-odd schedule, and that has all been communicated with the media. Des Moines Waterworks and Central Iowa Waterworks continue to monitor closely so that we know when the next layer can be lifted. The next layer is thought to be commercial under the same odd even watering, and then finally municipalities and school districts would be last. And how quickly they come really depends on what we see and what demand does and what nitrate concentrations do in our water sources. But overall, you know, we continue to receive comments that this was handled as well as it could have been, given the situation. Adjustments were made throughout the process, as Diane mentioned, based on feedback. And I think most importantly, CIWW and its members all came together with the main goal of keeping the drinking water supply safe for our community. And we met that goal. We met all and have continued to meet all safe drinking water standards. I just wanted to address one area. I think that there have been some uninformed comments made on social media or message boards that the watering ban happened because Central Iowa Waterworks formed. But Des Moines Waterworks would have made this decision regardless. And we would still have had the watering ban and probably not as much buy-in, frankly, from our wholesale customers. So this event demonstrates that Central Iowa Waterworks came to life just as designed. All members reviewed the data together. All members were informed of the risks of violating the safe drinking water standards. All members together made the decision to pull the trigger at each stage of the water shortage plan. And then regionalization, that tells us, is working just as we envisioned, and that's really positive, I think. So today, the nitrate concentrations, they're still bouncing around a little bit. The Des Moines River and the infiltration gallery are below 10 milligrams per liter, which of course is the safe drinking water standard. The Raccoon is just a little bit above that. So we hope that we are seeing the tail end of this event, but again, we're monitoring very closely. I would add that the strategic plan updates are in your packet. And this shows the amount of progress, some employee experience, customer experience, leadership, the various next one, and stewardship are the pillars. There are a couple that I think could be at risk that we need to evaluate and figure out if we can get on track. The first one is KPI 10, or excuse me, KPI 1, which outlines that 10 positions will have standard operating procedures developed by the end of quarter 4. Quarter 4 is still a ways away, but those 10 positions are heavily concentrated in our operations area and also our IT area. And so in hindsight, with everything that's going on, that will just be very difficult. So we'll figure out how to address that. It's a very aggressive goal. We may adjust in hindsight, either to trim down the number of positions or look at diversifying maybe the positions throughout the different areas. KPI 4, which is to replace 500 lead service lines by the end of the year. We knew that was going to be aggressive. We took the first step today, of course, by setting the public hearing for funding, but there's still a lot to do before we get 500 replacements in the ground. So I believe that one is at risk. And KPI 8, which is water demand management. You have heard about our flume. And those devices are, we're over halfway there. And Kyle's going to be at the farmer's market on Saturday peddling flume.
Now.
Yep, sandwich board and all. But we do expect adoption to get harder as the year goes on. So, you know, we're still hopeful, but that also was a pretty aggressive goal. So the rest of those details are there for you. If you have questions, I would be happy to answer anything about the strategic plan you might have questions on.
Where did the 500 on KPI 4, the lead service line, how did we come up with the 500 target for this calendar year?
Knowing that we were completing our inventory and we had to get the funding lined up, we knew we wouldn't have a whole year to dedicate to that. That first phase of 1,000, we would get started after the beginning of the year. And so we thought something, we knew it was an aggressive goal.
And what's the funding? What was the envisioned funding source for this 500?
SRF.
Also SRF.
Yeah, the SRF. So we just took the 1,000 and thought, well, maybe if we got half done.
Oh, okay. So
recognizing that it would take some time to gear up.
Okay. But the EPA standard doesn't go into effect. The start is 2027.
That's right.
It's 10 years from that.
That's right. So we're a little ahead.
We're getting ahead.
Yeah.
But you have to be strategic about all the different funding sources that
That's
are going to be
right.
available.
That's right.
I have a question on flume, and maybe for Kyle, because I saw you guys were halfway there just a few days ago. You got 325-ish, and let's say I buy one and it arrives at my door or whatever. How do you know I installed it? I know there's an FAQ, but I didn't see that, and this is probably a dumb question.
Great question. But it takes do an online installation that you will do.
Okay.
It's about 10 or 15 minutes.
Through their app,
Through
not
their app.
okay.
Okay, you'll download their app, do the
Okay.
installation process. We have, we see the results of every installation and see where they're being installed.
Okay.
So we can see that. We also, they have a spreadsheet for us that we can see those installations on there. And so we can see them live when they are coming online, part of the process.
Okay.
I seem to recall we have a little less than 300 installed. We have like 325 bought.
Oh,
and
okay.
a little
We
less.
have this, Flume is offering a sale the last 2 weeks, which has been well received.
Okay.
And so the prices have come down the last couple of weeks that we've seen a very high uptake in sales. And so we have, I think last I checked, 311 installed, but probably 380 or 390 sold right now. And so a lot of that in the last week and a half is part of the sale and the advertising and the work that others have been doing, sending out emails to get that messaging out about this discounted sale price. It goes on through Sunday.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like it's our duty as board members. This is a KPI we can actually add maybe some value with. I'm not gonna wear a sandwich board, but I think we can all try to commit to send some emails out to friends and explain the benefits and
That's
what it is. So I'm glad to know
Thank
it's
you.
an actual goal you have, because I wasn't sure if, yeah. Cool.
Appreciate it.
I will share that I'm still addicted to looking at my water usage and have checked a couple times while I've been out of town.
Oh, you already, Andrea has one. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have one, David? Gotta get one.
A little
That's
busy.
like calling you out right here.
It's because you're here, sorry.
So if that concludes your comments, I point to the additional information we have in our packet, including the safety memo, which I appreciate this the additional conversation you included in here regarding the traffic that has increased through the park with the closure of George Flack Parkway. My question is whether or not we are collecting speed information or just traffic counts, and if we've had any issues with the increased traffic that might also be a little bit quicker than the average driver in the park usually is.
Yes, we do have a speed camera
Speed sign.
device.
Device there. It
Yeah.
does provide speed data as well, and so we have all that data that we're collecting. We continue to monitor and collect. This was installed a couple of years ago to help reduce the speed in the park, which has had a big impact on there. And so we're utilizing this tool to be able to show to the city if we're having any issues with people detouring through the park and speeding through the park, so that we could implement speed humps if necessary to slow the traffic down coming through the park.
Good. And then our other item we have would be our public affairs update, which the amount of items listed here over the past few months, I feel it is quite extensive compared to what we usually see in here. And I appreciate how many times the utility has just been out in the public engaging, including Kyle coming up at the farmer's market, and just having that presence, whether it's been, in the media or just at the Beaverdale Bluegrass Festival. I think it's important for the utility to seem accessible and that giving people the opportunity to hear from us.
Andrea, if I could add just a couple comments on that. We have had many opportunities, as you said, primarily related to the lawn watering ban in June and July. There have been a lot of media requests. It's too much for a single person, and so we're dividing and conquering between Central Iowa Waterworks and Des Moines Waterworks staff and other Central Iowa Waterworks member staff. And so we've done a lot because of our regional effort. I do want to recognize Melissa for her work, her communications work for both Des Moines Waterworks and Central Iowa Waterworks. It's, as I said, a team effort, but she's been incredibly valuable in helping us shore up our message so that it's intended for audiences outside of our walls, that it's understandable. It's been a job and it's appreciated.
Absolutely. Here for that. Any other items for discussion? Otherwise, I will ask for you'll see that we have our contract status and professional services agreements also in the board packet, and our schedule of board activities. But if there's no other discussion items, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Andrea, I had a couple for Tammy, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
I was reading through I think the agenda for your upcoming meeting in a couple days, and there was some commentary about a motion to cure against Grimes. Could you provide some color on that action, if that's appropriate, John?
Don't know that I would be able to provide any color on that
Okay.
until after the board has a discussion.
Okay.
and makes some recommendation on that.
So they are, what have they've requested to be removed from the shortage plan? Is that what they've requested?
Yes, at the last board meeting, Grimes had submitted a letter to request to be excused from the lawn plan. Yes. So the recommendation of the board was to move to the executive committee. The executive committee had discussions around that request, and then they made a recommendation back to the board to deny the request.
Okay, thank you.
Any
All good.
other? All good?
Yep, thank you.
Okay. Whoop, any other questions or comments from anyone else? All right, with that, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second, sorry.
All right, thank you all for
You're in your
for
movie.
making this happen today. And
Thanks, Andrea.
Thank you.
yep, see you all later.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, thank